I'm standing out here on this beautiful Seattle day, and we're going to walk inside, and we're going to start off by taking a little tour of a Tabasco shop. But if you've never been here, this is a little look-see at the outside of the factory building here at beautiful Equinox Studios. Just because, you know, everyone needs a golden egg on top of their building and a welded bicycle. A little bit of iron monkey art here, dazzling up the place. Now, all right, let us go inside and see Tabasco. We're doing a virtual, we're running it now. Yes, we are live. We are doing a very social distance, but art attack live. We're gonna pop inside here. We just ran into some random Equinoxers, thank goodness. Now, before this gets started, let's do the important thing, which is getting a beer. Let's see here. Maybe we'll go for this one. Maybe. We are drinking Counterbalance beer tonight, which is the brewery that is right next door to Equinox Studios. We are trying to support our local people in this time, and really, honestly, if it was a regular art walk, we'd be drinking their beer anyway. Woo! And our pizza just arrived. We ordered pizza from Stellar Pizza down in Georgetown. We're trying to support all of our Georgetown people tonight. So drinking Georgetown beer, eating Georgetown pizza at a Georgetown art studio. So keeping it local. All right. Tabasco has returned with our pizza. Whoa. Pizza. Ooh. And I'm going to hand it over to Tabasco now. He's going to do a little tour of his shop for you, and then we'll take a walk.
Well, that should do it. Hopefully you can all hear me. Hi, welcome to the Blacksmith Shop. Some of you have been here, many of you have not. I'm going to give you a quick little tour of my shop right now while Kay gets into her beer. And yeah. So starting from the entrance, which is over here, the backside of my door is covered in randos and information. You walk in, and I've got my steel rack. I love that steel rack. I made that last year. It's so wonderful and so organized compared to everything I was using before. The tall rack, I can go up to about 17 feet if I have to, but usually keep everything short. This is my bandsaw. I'm gonna skip that section and come back to it. And this is my hammer, the Majestic hammer built in 1890, according to the patent in the front of it. So maybe it was built before then, maybe it was built a little after, but it seems, we'll just celebrate it. So you understand. So it all runs at a pulley system from up there. Normally I heat stuff up, but I'll be doing that later, not this time. Keep moving around. I've got, so this back section right here, which is kind of, looks like a mess. It is kind of a mess, but it's a fairly organized mess, I think. It's got scroll forms down at the bottom, rounds, half rounds, other miscellaneous shapes and jigs. The cutters. Over here is my diacro. This giant thing back here in the corner is a tumbler. These are stuff that went in dirty. So dirty would be something So like this piece right here is untumbled. It comes with mill scale on it, or in some cases we add new scale to it. And then after it's tumbled, it takes all that off and gives it a nice little shine. Small one, random. Yeah, you got to store stuff somewhere. This is my fancy anvil, although it needs the edges need to be redone at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. Also, it's, you know, it's abused a lot, but it's used with love. Forge, small anvil, quench bucket. Stepping over here, I have another large anvil. And the induction forge, which is what I will be using later because it is Seattle and it is currently 80 degrees inside my shop on May. So yeah, it's the end of the world. The devil has decided to come up. This is my Eagle Bender back here. It is something I picked up a few years ago for a really large job. That job pretty much paid for it. And it is a marvelous thing that allows us to bend rounds, which you might be able to see in the background over there, which are in storage. That is part of the armillary that the Iron Monkeys made for Burning Man 2019. This is a Hausfeld bender. It is also used for bending much like the diacro. And back there, once again, is just kind of storage. But the good storage is above that because we have the ponies. You can only see one of them right there. The other one's kind of hidden over there, along with acolytes and all of the Iron Monkeys gas lines, some shade structure, the various other things that will not be going to Burning Man. But fortunately, Play Dust kills everything, so I'm not afraid of moths. Some more Iron Monkey storage up there. That is a kitchen. Then we come down over here. We have various other tools, the torch, my phenomenal drill press, which I am very much in love with. Then rando stuff. We have Kay. I don't store here. I take her home with me sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes she takes me home with her. And then we have my big work table right in the middle of the shop. Recently, I started making a whole bunch more products and some also random things. So I have some of the random stuff. Yesterday, I made some new things, some basic basic things. These are actually, so this was made from a piece of 1 inch by 1 inch square bar that was 6 inches long. It is all one piece of metal. There's no welding or forge welding of any type. It's just one piece. I used a porta band to cut it and then spread it out and got that. This was the same technique as well. But this one I split 4 ways, which you can kind of see right there. And this one I split 3 ways there. And this is just a single split. And what this is called called a Frederick's cross. Usually they're a little longer because, you know, cross. But what really entertained me was the idea of doing these other ones, so that's why I did it. And I don't know, I could probably talk about all the stuff I have in my shop for quite some time. Here's another project I did. This is called a cube twist. This one's actually bronze. The idea was that you could walk around with this and use it to touch things because apparently bronze will kill COVID-19, and much like copper because it's the same family. But they're really just wands that I figured, you know, why not add a little magic to all the things that you're trying to not touch? So those are those ideas. But yeah, I think unless there's any questions on Facebook that I can answer, I think that is just about it. We'll be coming back to the shop again in a little bit, at which time I will be doing a demo. But until then, I just want to say thanks for showing up. We're really excited about doing this live art walk for you. On a personal note, I'm just going to go ahead and add something here that Equinox Studios is a really strong family of individuals, and it is our patriarch, I guess, in this case, would be Sam. He has done an amazing job of collecting us, but he has also put us in a category that doesn't fit just about every other category. So, which makes surviving this time a little bit harder. So if you are feeling it, and if you're interested in helping to support this, and Kate, one of the reasons we're doing this tour is to show off Equinox Studios. The Iron Monkeys are going to be collecting any money made tonight via the PayPal link that was put up will be directly donated back to Equinox Studios to Sam, who should update his technology so he could accept it directly, but we'll get to that later on. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and pass this on back to Kay.
All right. So we'll come back to Tabasco here after he's set up for a little bit of a display. But in the meantime, let's go on a little journey. So if you haven't ever been here, Equinox Studios is it's about a block of buildings. There are anywhere between 150 to 160 working artists here at any point in time. I'm going to switch the camera around here and try to walk you through some of the stuff that we're going to be walking by. So as you know, switch my camera, hang on. So this is where, so we've got up here on the wall all of the various art projects that the Iron Monkeys have done over the past, oh lordy, 13 years or so. And we find it's a really great conversational point for folks when they pop in to Equinox Studios. Also, a forklift, because, you know, what's life without a little bit of heavy machinery around? All right, let's keep going. This next studio that we're coming up to is called Editions, and they are absolutely incredible. They're bookmakers and bookbinders. So if you've ever thought about wanting to make books, these are your people. It's really incredible what they do with paper and binding. They're always teaching classes. Well, not in the age of whatever the hell's going on here, but in normal times, they're teaching classes. Over here, I know it doesn't look like it from this image right here, but this studio does handmade leatherwork. So really just stunningly beautiful handmade custom leatherwork. And when we get back to Tabasco's shop, I will show you the apron that he has. Now, as any true bizarre art space has, there are many, many weird little hallways full of art. So I'll just take you through some of these. I love this pig with the crown. All of this, as you can see, says more art. And this here is a photo series that one of the artists here did, taking a picture outside of her window for about 3 years with the same tree and all of the different images that she caught of people walking past this tree. If I turn around, it's hard to get this one. It's a massive collage of construction workers in the city of Seattle. So it goes on and on, like really just beautiful imagery of people working the jobs that we need to have done to keep life going. A little bit more, that says New Globe up there. These are the bathrooms. So a little more construction work, really gorgeous. We've got big pieces back here. And then this is the hallway of more art. In fact, it says, you are entering the art walk zone. Please walk slowly. Thank you. So we'll do that because I am a rule follower. So more really beautiful construction photography. I love this piece. It's got all of this like detailed rustwork bolts, really just beautiful industrial prints all put together. And I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but they're all at different levels. So it really pops out to you. It's not on a single plane. So this is Joyce, who's not here, which is totally understandable. Got some beautiful painting. This piece is called Boiling Fowl, which I kind of dig. Over here, if you're a fan of the divine swine, got a couple more of these great prints of pigs with crowns on. And also, who doesn't like a really badass looking car? All right, I know it said to walk slowly, but these walls are a little bare and there's a lot of Equinox. Oop, don't want to miss Chris here. Chris does some really stunning work. Can't wait to see him back. Ooh, and Kate. Ooh, yeah, there's Kate. Hey, Kate. All right, so we're going to speed down this hallway now in defiance of all of the laws of Equinox Studios. Turn the corner. Meow. All right, we're going to backtrack just a little bit. Not a ton to see in these places, but this is a base dance space. There are two dance performance spaces in Equinox Studios. So there's bass back there, bass, and a little bit more heavy machinery for all of you heavy machinery nuts. And this is Yaw Theater. So it's really an amazing amalgamation that you start, where we started with the blacksmith shop and walk down this hallway and all of a sudden it's dance. And I got to tell you, sometimes the dancers who come in here get very confused when they walk in and see a bunch of like really grimy iron monkeys pounding away on steel. But it really makes for a beautiful art community. And this is, it's hard to see from here. I'll come up a little closer. But this is a map of creativity in Georgetown. And people have just affixed, hundreds of little indicators of bits of creativity in the Georgetown neighborhood of Seattle. And if you're not from Seattle, Georgetown's pretty industrial. It's a lot of big trucking. Boeing is down here. So to have this much creativity happening in the Georgetown neighborhood is beautiful, and it makes me feel like the heart of Seattle still lives. All right. The last two places we're going to walk by in this building, and then I'm hoping that there'll be some people outside that we can talk to, is the Gage Academy of Art. So Gage has a number of educational fine art places in Seattle. This is their most recent, the Atelier, and holy crap, the artwork that these students do is flipping staggering. Like, it's some Renaissance crap here. A beautiful use of color and texture and emotion. Oh, this one's great. Start you down here at the bottom. Come all the way up here. Yeah. So I've got to go the other way on this one. This painting's probably about 7 feet tall. Try to not see if I could avoid the technology's hard sometimes. There we go. Not quite straight on, but yeah, that's about a 7 foot tall painting, and just really unbelievable detail in a lot of the bits of this painting. So it's such an honor to get to work with artists of that caliber here in our little grubby Equinox Studios. Signs of the times. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go outside and see what's happening in the container yard. All right, here we are in the container yard. Equinox Studios has 2 container yards. Oh, I see a human. We're totally going. We're totally coming your way. Awesome. I'm going to stay a safe 6 foot distance from you. Well, I'll stay a little bit away from you so we can hopefully hear you better. So I'm trying to report them out in the container village.
We can't hear her.
Oh, we can't hear you, so I'm going to step a tiny bit closer. I'll hold my arm out.
Sorry. I'm Tracy Boyd.
Perfect.
I'm one of the seniors here, one of the artists. And I just want to say we miss everybody. Cannot wait till we can have everybody here and give everybody big hugs and everything. But we're missing you guys tonight. So I just kind of cleaned my studio today. I painted and I painted the walls and the floor. So come on in, guys. Have some new paintings going. This little horse guy.
Lovely.
Yeah. And I got this one, kind of a woman in a dress. I'm really loving.
Beautiful.
Super fun. Super fun. And
That's
so got the teacher team.
Oh yeah, look at
Yeah,
that.
super fun. Sorry, I said that.
I think you can say super fun as many times as you want.
Maybe I need fun. I don't know if that would help the situation. Yeah, come on in, walk on in. Like,
All right.
Like you guys are stopping
All right.
by.
Yeah. So art walk, everyone. Look at this
Yeah, got
stuff.
a little art walk, got some commissions going.
Because who doesn't love a puppy dog?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Got some ducks back here.
And of course, the pile of paint. We have to get that.
You have to get that.
A real artist at work
You
here.
have to get that.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I got this duck out. I got like 5 or 6 ducks going, another horse above. Yeah,
That's stunning.
really energized them.
Oh my goodness. Those are
Yeah.
so pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
Woo! Thank you guys.
I'm glad you were here so we could stop
I'm
by.
really excited that you guys were doing this.
Well, we hope to do it again in June.
Yeah. And
So-
definitely, I'll let all my people know.
Excellent.
Get them all on board. Yeah, I did I guess last month I did a live painting, like half hour, which was incredible. And people, all my friends were on there cheering and like guessing what I was painting.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was good.
Fascinating how creative the creatives are getting in this time.
They really are.
Yeah.
It's like I have a whole new energy. Like, because I'm not doing really anything else.
Right.
It's like coming down here, we're all being super safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, staying distance, got our masks on.
Yep.
But missing the people on a night like this.
Me
For
too.
sure, for sure.
Me too. Well, thanks for letting us stop by your studio.
Bye, people.
Woo!
Good night, lovers.
That was awesome. So just a little peekaboo around here. Some of the amazing art on the walls at Equinox Studios. If you people have not been here, you simply must come down because this place is full of the awesome. So there's some more golden eggs because, why the hell not? Bunch of, wood, fire pit, back when we could stand around fire pits. That was a good time. So let's cruise down here, see if we can find anybody else. Yeah.
So I just wanted to go ahead and say, I know that everybody's seeing what Kay is saying, but I want you to know that I'm paying attention to the Facebook page and the live. So if anybody's watching and has questions and would like to ask questions when we're seeing someone, there's a little bit of delay, but we'll do our best to answer those questions. Or if you'd like to see something, I'll try to make sure that we get to see it. So.
And please feel free to jump in and stop me if something needs to happen, or if you can't hear. I will do my best to monitor that as we walk along through Equinox. And look what I spy with my little eye.
That's a dog.
It's a puppy dog. Stop it. You're the cutest. Hi, sweetheart. How's it going? That is an added bonus. So I met these folks mostly earlier today. They're working very hard on the what is that machine?
Glow Forge.
The Glow Forge. Yes. Is it working?
It is. I just had to find the right kind of hammer to use.
Yeah, the biggest one, hopefully.
My glow anvil's not working too well.
Do you folks mind saying hi? I'm going to stand about here just so people can hear you.
Sure.
Hi.
Look at this.
Being our social distancing and time.
That's what we do. I'm puppy dog. I can't even. So what kind of art do y'all do here at the Equinox?
Well, this is supposed to be her box. I'll let her talk.
Yeah, come out here. Step on the light a little bit.
Yeah, this is my studio. I have a thing for erotic 1950s playing cards.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I turn them into all kinds of art. So
That
I have a huge collection. So if you ever want to see boobs and ass, you come to.
I would imagine that a number of people watching this stream right now would like to see some boobs and some ass.
Yeah.
If I know any of my friends.
And they're all vintage. Fantastic.
That is so wonderful. I also learned today that you're a burner as well. So
I
more
am a
burners at
burner,
Equinox
yes.
Studios.
Yeah.
It's super
It's a great
exciting.
community.
Will you tell us your name?
I'm Miley.
This
Miley
is-
Roundtree.
This
so.
is Miley.
Yeah.
Very excited to have met her earlier today.
And then my husband's at the corner and my boyfriend's right over here. So both of them have been helping out today. So
This is a damn good day.
it's a team effort, right? Yeah.
I love it. Well, I'm sorry. So for that, Miley's new here and hasn't experienced an art attack, which is breaking my heart because I mean, I realize that I'm charming, but I'm nowhere near as charming as the people who come here for art attacks. So I really look forward to when we get to have all those people back here
Oh, that's fantastic.
and celebrating your art with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you guys around maybe next month. Fingers crossed.
I hope we'll do this next month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't blow this one up, we'll try it next month.
Safety hazard.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Out of the container yard. There is another container yard. Oh, the sun's very bright. Sorry about that. There is another container yard over there. We are going to skip that for the moment and continue down. Ooh, we'll stop by here. This is one of my favorite pieces. Burning Specialties Incorporated, this group here, are flame cutters. So they've got some really just incredibly badass tools in here. But this door, ooh, the Hobbit door, which we absolutely love, opens on this really surprisingly smooth hinge. For something that weighs, God, who frickin' knows how much this thing weighs. Oh, God, a lot. The door. Oh, God. But it's one of my favorite pieces here. It's just spectacular. Like lots of levels of metalwork. Really just a huge frickin' piece of beautiful work. All right. So, this is the factory building. No, not the factory building. This is the living room building. There are a bunch of different businesses and art studios up in here. I don't think many of them are open, but we'll take a breeze by their windows just to see what's going on. So we've got Paper Boat Launch, which is a bunch of the former Gage students who have come together to have their own gallery. So if you were here a few minutes ago and saw some of those Gage paintings, you can imagine the wonders that exist behind this door. Well, this, while not art, is a pretty interesting water retention unit that is recycling the rainwater from the roofs of Equinox and storing in this cistern to be redistributed to watering the plants around Equinox. So that's some pretty interesting stuff there. This bit will soon be, well, was going to soon be our cafe. But now, since, you know, the end of time, not quite sure when that will be happening. And just because you can't have an art space without some delicious candies, we also have a confectioner's. Not sure if you can see, you probably can, maybe about there. Dulcetta Artisan Sweets is here, so we get treated with some sweets. And then at the end of the block here, we've got Pug Mill Society, which is a collective of ceramic artists who do just an amazing amount of work with a lot of people. All right. We'll take one brief art pit stop before heading into the blue building. Ooh, or maybe not, because I might not have keys in my pocket. We'll see how that goes. So we come up
Do you need
here.
keys?
I might need keys. So if any of you remember a long time ago, this is an Iron Monkey art piece. This was part of the Guardian of Dawn that we did in, oh, Lord, 2013, maybe? but it's been living out here in front of the Big Blue building for, gosh, since we've kind of brought it back from Burning Man, so maybe 5 years. So quite a while. Other little tidbits along the front of the building here. Well, it did only take me about 10 years to realize what's wrong with this sign. It's spelled wrong. But yeah, I parked in front of this for a very long time before realizing it was spelled wrong. Oops, some more Iron Monkey art. Ah, nice. Anne's got the door open. Got some ceramic cans from the Pug Mill Society up on the wall here. Thank you, Anne. And one of my favorites that I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see is this tiny little bird cage. Oh, I don't think you'll be able to see it very well, but that little blob on the wall there is a bird cage that is a replica of the front of the Blue building. And I don't think they have the misspelled volunteer sign, but I might climb up there and add it. We'll see. All righty. Hold on here. I'm going to switch my camera for just a second and say that we're about to head into the Blue building. So the Blue building is the first building of Equinox, and I believe it opened in 2006. Is that right, Tabasco?
That is, yeah, I moved in, well, it actually might have been late 2006. I moved in after a year, and I moved in at the end of 2007. So, 2006, 2007.
Okay, yeah, so this is the first building. It's an old World War II era building, and before it became a haven for freaky, weird artists, it was a Mastermark printing company. So the signs are actually still up here. We haven't taken down their logoing. It's part of the feel of the building. And it feels like a World War II industrial building. It's very, well, you'll see. I'll take you through. Let's see, what time is it? All right, we're going to head through the ground floor of this, and then we're going to go upstairs and check in with Sid, who is going to show you some of her ceramics. So I'm going to switch the camera back.
And the Blue building is notorious for losing reception at various points. So there are moments where we might lose Kay. So just so everybody knows, just be aware of that exciting moment when suddenly she goes into stuttering.
Well, we'll hope that since there's no one here, that maybe it'll be okay. But you never know. So this is the entry of the Blue building. This, as a matter of historical reference, is the very first blacksmith shop in Equinox Studios. We were here for, how long were we here?
2007 till 2015 or 16. I can't remember right now.
So a sturdy bit of time. All right. Oh, yep. Random dinosaur parts attached to walls because, you know, why not?
Who doesn't want dinosaur butt?
I mean, everybody really should. This is the Firelight Forge, which is wonderful. Oh, this is, oh, am I taking a selfie? I don't even know. So Lisa does a whole bunch of beautiful repose work and chasing work. So there's a lot of detail in these wings with little tiny marks to make all of the feathers. Really beautiful. Some riveting work. Yeah, she's stupendous in this just glorious, delicate, hardcore, badass metalwork. Some more. This is one of my favorites, this owl here. And again, if you come on up close to it, you can start to see all of the detail in this, all the tiny little hammer strikes that she's done to create this beautiful texture. Oh, she does have my favorite one. We have to do a little thing here. I'll just hop on over to that. But just to give you some more, she has a whole series about hearts. So here are a bunch of her heart pieces. But this one I love. So it's these two little girls, and they're skipping down the road. And this little bubble says, Mary had a little lamb. Little lamb, Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. But the story Lisa told me was that little nursery rhyme was how she learned all of her swear words. So instead of Mary had a little lamb, it was asshole, shit, and fuck and bitch, fuck and bitch, fuck and bitch, asshole, shit, and fucking bitch, fucking bitch. So I love this piece. It's hilarious. And again, also beautifully done with lots of really great detail. All right. Oh, so this is a lot of the stuff that 2K Metalworks does. We were just talking about them with the big door. Let's see, some of my favorite ones here. Oh, no, my favorite ones aren't here, but they do. Oh, yes. So this is the Before 6 Beers. So this one flips around. I don't know if I can get it to flip. After 6 beers. Hard to see in this light, but Before 6 Beers is a kind of crusty looking old dude. You flip it over and it's a beautiful princess. Here's a bunch of their flame cut work. Seattle, what in the house. Also got some beautiful imagery, like completely the opposite of flame cut steel. It's this really fucking trippy psychedelic prints here. Really quite stunning, and I'm not quite sure how to wrap my head around them, but I dig them. And then, oh hey, look, the Black Dog Forge. The Black
Yay!
Yay! The Black Dog Forge is one of the more established blacksmith shops in Seattle, and Louie and Mary, who are the folks who run it, are sort of known as the grandmother and grandfather of Seattle blacksmithing. They worked out of Belltown for a very long time until the building that they were in was going to be demolished. And we were so stoked to find out that they were coming to Equinox Studios. So they're sort of legend in the world of blacksmithing, and we couldn't be happier. So whenever you have a chance to really come down here, you definitely want to check out Black Dog Forge. They do some amazing stuff. I'm going to cruise through here because it's a little bit dark. Turn the corner.
We can still see.
Oh, well, good. So this is darkness. Actually, some beautiful lamp here. This fellow makes really, really incredible lamps that I'm always so excited by. I think that's the only one he really has out. This is where the magic happens. This is sort of all of the building management stuff. So all the things that keep Equinox humming along in terms of plumbing and fixtures. And there's a whole wall of doors back there. I realize you can't see it. You know, big, huge acorn tables, band saws, table cutters. So this is the industrial side of the industrial space. All right. Now we're going to head upstairs. And I'm going to see if we can find Sid here. We'll take a look at some of this art on the wall here. Equinox. I love this one. I don't know who put it up here, but I agree that Equinox made me do it. So very true. Bathrooms, very important in case anybody has to go pee. This is where you're going to want to stop.
Make sure you show the fancy bathroom.
Oh, I will show the fancy bathroom. It's right at the top of the stairs. I'll get there in just a second. So as you can see, just by randomly walking through here, this place is full of art. Like every little space has been covered in art. This is my kind of scene. All right, we'll pop into the fancy bathroom real quick, unless there's someone in there. Okay, here we go. So this is the fancy bathroom. And it is the Starry Night bathroom. So we're going to go talk to Sid here in just a second. But a lot of these stars, I think maybe all of it, she can let us know when we get over there, is work that Sid has done. Oh. This is my favorite bathroom in Equinox. It's really unnecessarily delightful, which is one of my favorite things. All right, Coming your way, Sid. Some more big, beautiful pieces of art. This is John Kirschenbaum's studio. He's completely incredible woodworker. Just like that man makes a stool that your ass wants to be in. It's true. So this is another piece of Sid's who you're about to meet. This beautiful table of elements that is massive and so pretty. And yeah, let's go meet Sid. We're gonna go up these stairs here. All right, I'm gonna turn my audio off and I'm gonna let Sid take this away.
Hi.
You're
Hi.
on, Sid.
Hi. Hi. I sound like my granddaughter. Hi. Okay, so
Okay, you need to turn off your audio. Okay.
Can you hear me okay, Tabasco?
I can hear you perfectly now.
Okay. Okay, this is me, and now we're gonna show you the place. Oh, camera. Okay. 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 Here's the kiln. Here's where all the glazes get made.
Wait, you make your own glazes?
I do. Yeah, I'm learning chemistry as we speak, and heat work. Oh, there's just a bunch of jazz here. I only recently started making stuff that I want to sell, so there's a lot of art mixed, one-off art pieces mixed in with stuff I'm trying to sell. So I'll just show it all to you. Oh, should I be in landscape now? Should I turn it sideways?
You can show it to us any way you prefer. Whatever you think makes it look better.
Okay. Here are the porcelain tulips. They are made out of porcelain. They're votives, and they're each unique, and they're about the size of a glassy baby, and they look better when it's super dark out. So yeah, I'll go over at the end if you want to buy one. And here's okay, so I got some rhubarb leaves. That's what that is in the back from my friend, and some ferns and some iris. And this is an 11-inch terracotta vase that's for sale. And this is a stoneware. It's a tulip. See how it has little spikes like that, 6 little spikes like a tulip leaf, so your flowers can go down between the crevices. Okay, now we're going over here to, yeah, did you want to ask
for
something?
the uninformed, what is terracotta?
Oh, good question. Terracotta is red flower pot clay. It means burned earth. And it's found at lower elevations like riverbeds and stuff. And it's got iron in it and all kinds of admixture things that keep it sort of a darker brown. And it also fires up to a lower temperature, several hundred degrees, which is a lot when you're firing around 2,000 degrees. Like this porcelain is 300 degrees hotter. And you can see, oh, I can't really see very well. If it was darker, you can see the light coming through the side. When it's darker
Yes.
out, they're translucent. So it's kind of gives you that spacious feeling, you know. Thank you. Thank you. So this is the wall that has a lot of shapes on it. This white thing and this white thing are sacred architecture boxes that I've made for people to put ashes of their loved ones in. This is it's a mosque from the Umayyad dynasty in Syria from a long time ago. And yeah, so the top comes off, see? And this one is it's the shape of a hole in a wall in the Nunnery Triangle in Uxmal, which is in the Yucatan Peninsula. So they did these really wicked, raked, steeply cut walls. They made limestone blocks, and they just made everything out of limestone because that's all they have. Here's some raku pomegranates that I make. I usually make them around Christmas time, and raku is this crazy technique where you open the kiln at red hot heat and you pull it out and you put it in burning barrel of sawdust and you get those cracks. So that raku periodic table, you saw the cracks on the pieces. It's just this crazy art form that's really cool. I don't know why I have this in here, but I like it. It's a terracotta serving dish and has this crazy, I extruded all these little tubes or these little coils, and then I made it into a bowl. So reminds me of a waveform. This is another terracotta vase, and I don't know if you can see where I put the white glaze on it, and then I scratched it. It's peacock feathers. This was a lady's wedding dress. So this was a test piece for her wedding dress. Never mind, that's too long of a story, but just believe me. So then I did a bunch of...
Hey, Sid?
Yeah.
Just a quick side note. Somebody wants to know if they can order this stuff online or somehow. There's something that they saw, and make sure you tell us where they can do that.
Oh, very cool. You can go on my Instagram page, which is at Sid Shira Clay Art. Can they see that on the screen, Tabasco?
They can see it right now. They sure can.
And then my email is on there. And then email me. And I'll tell you the scoop of how to get it and also how to pay for it.
There you go.
Okay. So now I'm going to go all sideways on us because these are tiles that I did where I just experimented with that scratching technique. It's in Italian, it's called sgraffito, which means, guess what? Scratching. And it's an ancient pottery technique, just believe me, okay? Okay, now we're going to go down, and there's that plate and that apple. Now we're in the endangered or extinct species section. This is a black rhino, which is severely almost extinct, and I just really care about those guys. And this is an aurochs, and an aurochs is those giant cows that were in the cave paintings in like Lascaux and Alta Vista and the other famous one I can't remember, but they're extinct. But they were 6 feet high at the withers. That's the withers of a cow or a horse, their shoulders. So they were these giant beasts that, Europe used to be covered with forests, and they would shake their heads side to side and they would just clear a path to the forest. So they were really essential for creating space for sunlight to filter down in the old forested Europe. So I don't know why I know that, but I do. I just love them. I love those cave paintings. Okay, now we're over to the single tile department. If you want to get a single raku tile, there's one on the wall that Black Dog Forge made a frame around helium, and then Black Dog Forge made a frame around, let's see, AG is, it's either gold or silver. AU, I think it's silver. Okay. Okay, here is a Duwamish River salmon. There's an actual species, and I made these spirit rattles so that you could shake it. Here will be the shake. Cool, right? And so that, in my mind, I made that be every time that shakes, we're sending our intention and life energy to that Duwamish River salmon to keep up the good fight and to make it. So, yay. Now this is fee fi fo fum, and it just needed to get made. I'm sorry, it just had to. And those numbers don't correspond with anything. They're just let that go. Okay. Here's copper. Copper, you can have Mary make you a frame, or you can just have plain old copper. But see how the crazy raku is all different? You couldn't make those puppies the same if you tried. So here's little terracotta vases. They're small. There's my fingers. That's how big they are. So here's some more inky dinky. Can you hear that? Little terracotta rattles. They're not sacred. Oops, I just put my thumb on the thing, sorry. That's a good one. That sounds like coins in there. Because we cook the clay, we fire the clay almost up to its maturity, so it gets all tingy. It gets tingy, you know what I mean? Tingy. Okay, these are they're clouds, but you can put jewelry on them if you take them off the wall, or keys or coins or anything. That's windshield glass that I just melt. So it's not sharp or anything. See, it's all melty, but it looks cool. And there's a couple planets. That the one on the right is when Mars went direct during an eclipse a couple years ago, and the left one is one of the icy moons of Saturn. I forgot its name. It starts with E, but I like planets in space. This is the watchbird, who it's a fine example of art that just kind of came out. It just needed to get made. He's lacking a head, but that's okay. He watches out the window all the time. There's some terracotta succulent pots. Okay, so here's another one of those stoneware vases. You can see the whatchamajiggy thing where the flowers can sort of fall out. There's another. This is a terracotta vase. This is 11 inches high, and that's the stamp is cosmos, a cosmos plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little oh, forget it. It's too hard to see. It's a little jubilation pot that isn't looking too jubilant because you can't see the candle in it, but has a lot of colors. So here's the original. Okay, so I made these spirit animals, and I was supposed to throw them in the Duwamish River and sacrifice them. And isn't that a great sound? I got attached. I couldn't sacrifice it, so it lives in the studio. And here's a super fun piece. I'm pretty sure I had COVID, and this piece blew up in the bisque, and this is the only part that lived. So I felt like I underwent a tremendous transformation. So my head became a raven head. And the red thing was how the virus felt inside me. It kind of looks like how it felt. Yeah, so, you know, a little COVID art. I'm okay now. I'm fine. Okay, and the last thing, oh no, not quite the last thing, but this is, I make these, I call them house flowers. They're about that big. I have big hands, and they hang on your house. They're house jewelry. That's a Mecanopsis, which is a Himalayan blue poppy. Obviously not blue, but it's stoneware, so it can be out in the freezing thaw. They look really good by your doorbell or on your fence, on your wood fence. This is a echinacea plant.
Yeah, so, you know, COVID. They look really good by your doorbell.
And this is the geums. So these are all stoneware that I left the natural clay color. You know, they look super nice against purple houses and stuff. They look good on purple houses. And the last thing are clay colors. You know, they look super nice against purple houses and stuff. They look good on purple flowers in their white and terracotta. And they should stay indoors. They can be food platters, or they look good just hanging. This is a crappy, I mean, this is not an ideal way to be on the floor and show them. But anyway, they're all different. Anyway, peonies, rosary rugosa, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I have something in my way. Oh, yeah, and the last thing is a fake. I really like fake. Peonies. So this is 3 rosary rugosa, like, blah, blah, blah. 3 raccoon pieces. This one has some pieces of wire, copper wire, fire lighting. This is the unseen energy pattern to stay. This is my favorite one. It's just sort of a crazy, I don't know. You just get away with not knowing things, and then it's okay. It has glass melted on it too. I think that's enough out of me. I think. Oh, one more thing that's fun. This is it's a phone holder, and if I go right down on it, you can see. Anyway, so my phone is resting on it now, and it's the tip of Mount Kanchenjunga, which is one of the 8,000 meter peaks in the Himalayas, and it's Raku. See that red and then that blue crackle, and I just needed a phone holder. And I just think making peaks of mountains and leaning your phone against it's just a good feeling. Yeah. Okay, that's enough out of me.
You should flip your camera around again so people can see you. There you go.
Okay. Hi.
There you go.
Hi. Okay, that was super fun. I only sweated a little bit, and thank you. Okay.
Sid, before you're done, just once again, make sure you tell everybody who maybe wasn't here initially, if anybody sees anything that they like, how did they get in touch with you to ask you about it?
Oh, well, I have an email, Sid, SYD, Shira, SHERA, Clay Art, all one word, at Gmail. And email me about anything, and I'll know what you're talking about, and I can tell you the price and how to get it. And if you need me to come down on Mother's Day, I will do that. Pickups will be at Equinox Studios, and I prefer to be paid with Venmo if that's possible. Is that enough information? Cool.
That sounds great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. I heart you super hard. I really appreciate you doing this.
This was awesome. I want to do it again. It's a really good thing.
Come back next week.
Come back next time.
Well, I guess next month.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to pop out of here. I'll see you in a bit. And thank you very much.
Bye, honey.
The fabulous Sid Shira, everyone. How amazing to get a tour of her studio. And now that you've just met her, we can come back around and take a look. And now you know what Reiku is. So you can see all the beautiful cracks and all of these elements. So pretty. All right, we're going to head to the end of the building here for a second and then come back around and hopefully say hi to Anne. But here's some more really, really beautiful, detailed painting work that is here. This is Rebecca Woodhouse.
Hey, Kay.
Really stunning. She's got an incredible repertoire of painting. It's another
Kay,
one.
can you hear me?
What's that,
Kay?
Tabasco? Yes.
Well, would you talk about the donations to Equinox Studios for a moment?
I will. So the Iron Monkeys are currently accepting donations because our great leader here at Equinox, Sam, is not always up on the top of the chain of technology. So we have a link to the Iron Monkeys PayPal account. If you'd like to donate to Equinox Studios, and a lot of the artists here are struggling because everybody's struggling. But we want to make sure that Equinox Studios lives, that Equinox Studios survives this.
Oh, we lost you. Okay.
that you could donate to. And if this, I have no idea how this is going because I'm only really seeing what I'm seeing. But if this works well, we'll do another one of these events in June, and we'll have maybe a more direct link to Equinox Studios set up. But if you would like to donate, man, it would be a tragedy to see this community not make it. So any support would be helpful. This is Sophia Wheelwright's stuff. She's a textile artist. This is kind of meshy, sort of screen-like. She does huge installations of this. So I just wanted to give her a little shout out since we're right next to her. Also, important things to know. I break for bread. And for any of you who get this joke, this is a crash bar. We'll just head on down here again. We're going to take another turn here. This is the last little hallway. So this is an excellent hallway. This is Michelle Smith-Lewis's studio. She's not in right now. Tabasco, did she send you any videos?
I did not get the videos that I do not see them, so I do not have them at this time.
Well, we will get some of her videos in the future, but she also does these photo, I don't know what it's called. Does anyone know what this is called who has audio? They're light paintings. And they're stunning. And I'm not sure what the photosynthesis thing, I don't know what it is, but I love them. They're gorgeous. This here behind me, is this three-dimensional art. And this artist, whose name I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to steal it off of a wall here. Oh, I will, hooray. Also makes these out, these are all political signs. So you can sort of see the Obama logos up there. And this artist puts these, wow, I'm reaching, like, I am looking almost straight up. These are really high up. Really beautiful pieces of flower art. So, Elizabeth Gann. And you can see, as I scroll down her things here, some of these out in the wild. So she's just a really innovative user of already created materials, really pretty. The urban garden, really cool. And then you turn around because this is Equinox Studios and you've got old school maps. This is Claire Putney. These are really stunning. I don't know, I wish that this said what they were made of. It looks a lot like tea or coffee staining in some way to me, but it might be a lot more sophisticated than that. One way or another, these are glorious maps. And then little end of the hallway, blast of art. There you go, look at that. All right, we're gonna walk back down this bountiful hallway of art. I gotta tell you, I've worked in Equinox as my paid job, well, until I didn't have a job anymore, for a number of years, and it is life-giving to be able to come here and walk through these halls every day. It is one of the things I am most blessed by. We're not gonna stop at this because I did a little test earlier to see if it could work, but this is a climbable wall with little tiny peepholes that have little videos showing in them. And it's all about sort of the metamorphosis of humanity. It starts at an infantile level, and moves into childhood, adulthood, and then beyond. It's really incredibly beautiful, called Semi-Permeable Membrane by Annika Newell. So visitors are invited to climb the wall. And it's one of my favorite things during Art Walk, to walk down this hallway and then see like children and adults scaling a wall to look at art. Oh, there's the thing. So utero, adolescence, adulthood, death. Really beautiful. So that's some interactive art, and it looks like Anne is here. So we're gonna go say hi to Anne real quick. And the puppy. Hi. Hi. Oh, the cutest of the dogs. How's it going, Anne?
It's good. turning off on the Facebook because it's delayed, but anyway.
Yes.
Hello, thank you for coming in. I can tell you, I will fill in a blank. And
Oh, would you have her mute?
by Michelle Smith, move it.
Could you mute your tablet?
Let me see. I don't know how to mute it. I don't know how to mute
She's
it.
on it. Or just turn your volume down. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Anne.
Better.
Sienna types are by
Sienna types. Right. So
by
it's
Michelle Smith Lewis. And so
Great.
there's a certain way that you treat the fabric, and then you put objects on top of it and expose it to sunlight, and then what isn't exposed to sunlight turns to
thank
Sienna
you.
types.
I think they're so beautiful.
they are.
Yeah.
And so this is my studio. This is
Yeah.
awesome what you're doing. Thank you, Kay and Tabasco, for hosting this tonight. I started out doing a lot of digital work, mostly digital, and now I'm doing mixed media and still doing some.
Can I sneak around this? Hi, Lexi.
Yeah, feel free.
I'm going to safely sneak around you
No, that's
just so we
fine.
get a little closer image at a bunch of your work.
But Jazz Records, that photo was taken on the last day, minutes before that sign came down.
Oh,
when they
wow.
closed That's Jazz Records.
Okay, I'm going to switch to my camera here so we get this whole piece.
I was up in Victoria, BC.
Oh, Victoria, BC, yeah.
Some great work that became abstract art.
This is incredible. What are all the stones?
So that's based on a poem that I wrote called Snake River. And most of the words from the poem are on the beads. It's one of my blood poems. It's sort of about the end of menstruation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people feel uncomfortable with that conversation, but
We're all friends here. We've already talked about boobs and ass, so I think we can talk about menstruation. I think we're good. Your Tabasco chuckling in the background. I love this picture of you. Is this a self-portrait?
yeah, I did.
Stunning.
We had a studio in Bremerton where we had more room, and we would bring models in to work with them. And one day our model didn't show up, so I was like, okay, well,
Oh, it's so good.
I'll just model myself.
Yes. Yeah, this is so amazing, Anne. Really stunning work.
Well, thank you.
I always love coming into your shop. I always love seeing you. So it's nice to get to do a socially distanced art thing with you. It's a solid like 12 feet away from you right now.
Well, Equinox in general is amazing.
Yeah, Equinox is the best.
Very cool that you're walking around giving people this little snapshot of all the wide variety of things that happen here.
So much happens here. Yeah, I love it. From, the sweets and the candies to, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I just knocked your water. Oh no, I think I'm in trouble with the dog. Yeah, from the sweets to the blacksmiths to the photographers to the mask makers and found art people.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm so sorry I knocked your water over. I didn't mean to.
She'll forgive you.
Okay, that's good. Well, thanks, Anne. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you for coming by. Hi, everybody. And come again when we're live, or come again next month if we're virtual again.
I love it. Thank you so much for letting us into your studio. All right. But what's your dog's name again? Lexi. It's nice to see you. Thank you for being so gracious with your cute little tail wag. Oh my God, I can't even. All right. And we're heading on out here. So this is Betty Jo Costanzo. She is clearly a fairly impressive artist, and her interpretation of color is unbelievable to me. I love this one. This is a bunch of the rags she uses to clean up paint that she's made into her own actual piece of art. So there's her card. It's really beautiful to watch her work. Seriously, we walked down the gal. Come down here for the scale of it. Like, That is some huge painting work. She's really prolific in that way. All right. Final hallway out of Equinox. And then I'm going to head back up to the factory. We'll see if Tabasco's gotten to a point where he can show us a little bit of blacksmithing. I did miss a couple artists here, but you'll have to tune in next time to see if I cover them. Whew, also, Sid, it is hot up there. Dang, girl. Whew, I'm sweating. So one more thing to take a look at before we head back to Tabasco is, gotta switch my screen around here. Give me a second. This is the great Schmackamer. This is a huge hammer. So the way that it works, when it works, is that these two enormous blocks right here, there's a little hitch point. You can see right here. So that gets hitched onto, and it goes up here, and then it hinges onto a big, huge arm. It gets lifted by a forklift to bring this block up to height, which is up there. And then we empower people, we really love to do this with children, to hit this. And this is the release lever for the block. So we put all sorts of things in here over the years. We've done cans of paint. We actually use it as an art project. So you can, there are some letter dies that can go in there. So you can make little steel press letter dies, like of your name or whatnot. My favorite story is one time when we were out here, I think, putting Molotov cocktails in here maybe. And the police came by because, you know, to serve and protect. And we explained the whole thing to them. And they asked if they could put something in here. And so they put a pair of handcuffs in here and then smacked the crap out of the schmackamer. And it was a beautiful day for all. So that's some dangerous, interactive art at its finest. All right. Trying to flip the camera back around. Gonna take a little walk down the street. My beer is empty. It's not a good sign. And yeah, so that's your little hour tour of Equinox Studios. I hope you saw some things that were interesting to you and met some nice people and didn't get too bored. And you know, I'm really grateful to all the artists who were here and let us socially distance say hello, check out what they're doing. I'm really grateful. We walked through Equinox earlier today and asked folks if they'd be around and if we could talk to them. So thanks, Equinox peeps, for being here. Hey, Crow, for being here and letting us pop in for a second. It really, for a community that is generally so tight, it's really hard for all of us to not see each other. So today's been a good day in the world of collaborative and community art-based things. Whew, that's a long block. I'm trying to walk fast so I get back up here, but holy cow. Whew. Also, here's a little more Iron Monkey art in case there wasn't enough random Iron Monkey art hanging out around Equinox. Now, a duck under the door. And pop back in and see how Tabasco's doing.
Woo! Kay's gonna grab another beer. I'm gonna go ahead and swap this video around. Yeah, you don't see me right away because I also have to do all the various special work things to make everything work. There we go. I think I made it work. So I'm gonna do an experiment. We've been, just so you know, this has been sponsored by, and by sponsored I mean this is what we're drinking tonight. I'm currently drinking what's called a reference guide from Hazy Pale. It's a Hazy Pale Ale, and it's from Counterbalance, who is our neighbors, and also quite honestly, beer is as much a craft and an art as all of the other things that we're doing as well. So it's just food, art, and others. Anyway, so the Iron Monkeys have been talking about doing a pendant. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, which is about 9 inches long, and I'm going to turn it in, and I'm going to taper both sides, and I'm going to turn it into a scroll circle, and we're going to see if we like that. So at some point I might ask Kay to come over and hold the camera while I'm doing some of this stuff, but initially I think you guys can see everything without that. So let me double check that. I'm going to be using this fancy induction torch over here. This wonderful, wonderful device is fantastic during the summers when it's, you know, say 80 degrees outside, and because instead of having a forge which is constantly putting out heat, this will heat something such as this piece of metal in seconds, which is that. So anytime you taper steel, well, anytime I taper steel, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's got a different technique. You always taper it square. And then once it's square, you then can re-round it up. So I'm just gonna go through, put the corners down. Like that. And I just took that side, I think you can see, I'll kind of do that, and turn it into that side. Okay, clench that side, because that tapers on. I'm going to do the other side. Done. All right. So I don't want these tapers too sharp because you're going to be wearing them when this is done, hopefully. Although I didn't actually measure to see if this was the correct length, I just kind of guessed. But hopefully if you're wearing this around your neck, and while you might need to use it as defense someday, you don't want it to poke you while you're waiting for that moment. So try to keep it kind of a dull moment. So both sides are now kind of tapered. I just quenched it, which is why I can touch it. Now I'm gonna go take a quick gander and find, not yet. I'm gonna go ahead and find a scroll form so that I can do this again. So I think I mentioned this little space over here when I was doing my original tour. So what I have is all these scroll forms, and they're basically so that you can do repetition. So like is there, and I will show you how I use these. I think we want something, this is fairly big, so I'm gonna pull these off. I'm thinking that might actually be a good size one. So we're gonna go ahead and move this over. I'm obsessively going to put those other ones back because keeping this stuff organized and not falling all over the floor is more important than you can imagine. Okay, so now I'm going to hand this to Kay. Oh, actually, I'm not going to hand it to Kay because she's eating a piece of. Oh no, she's got it. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this form in here. Now, again, I was being silly and I did not actually measure this, so I don't know if this is the perfect form or not, but I will make it work one way or another. So I'm going to heat this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little, what's called a starter scroll on one end. The starter scroll is to basically grab onto that form. So see, now I've made a little hook there that will grab onto the end of the form. Now I'm going to heat a whole bunch more of this. I always find it kind of magical to watch it just kind of heat so much material so fast. I'll go through a couple times. Now I'm going to quench just that very tip of the hook really quickly. I need to add water and then go over to the form and pull it around. And then suddenly I have a shape. So that might have been a little bit bigger than I needed, or a little bit too much material, but I'm going to make this work. So let's do a little swapping around here. Ooh, stay there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come back to that in a second. It's like magic. Okay, so first I'm going to see if I can, I'm going to make sure that I'm grabbing as much of this and kind of keep pulling it around a little bit so that I'm pulled around. Now, let's see. Go ahead and add some more heat. Stay there, you're fine. I think I've seen it heat up. Just take a second. Okay. Now, when you're blacksmithing, one of the things you have to do or have to figure out is how to heat only the part you want to bend. Because if you heat too much material, you end up bending too much material. So I just quenched a whole bunch of it so that I could heat up just this front section. And now when I put on here, that front section, oops, there we go, should, there we go. Oh, it's more or less like what I was looking for. Pretty good. All right, I'm going to give it a quick quench. And make sure that you can
Drop it on the ground.
make sure you can drop it on the ground and see it. So that is my demo for today. And I think that is probably the end of this art walk. Yeah, we're going to take a quick look at the Facebook and see if there's any questions or anything like that. But outside of that, I think we're set. Oh, there's one more thing.
Let me grab my phone.
All right. You forgot. Oh, you forgot. Oh, aha. So we're gonna do a little swap back to Kay because Kay forgot an entire side of the building. You know, it's like her throwing a baseball. On that note, here is.
Hi.
Hold on.
That's good.
Here is Kay again, who is also going to mention that if you really love Equinox Studios and if you love the stuff that you're seeing, you should absolutely donate and send us some money that we can give to Sam. I'm just saying.
All right, did you switch it back to me? All right, I realized that I was a jerk and didn't go this way down the hallway, and these people are my friends, and I'd feel terrible if I didn't showcase their work. So I'm going to start up top here and tell you who's here, and then we'll walk to the bottom, and yeah, I would be remiss to not show you this hallway. And look at how pretty it is. Also, oh God, sunlight, what is that thing in the sky? So this studio is Alia Gupta. She is an amazing painter, does these really incredibly intricate, I think I just made a smoosh, intrinsic paintings. I love watching her work. Her eye is just incredible. So if you like this kind of art, definitely scratch my screen up a little bit there. Look up Alia. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Even if I'm in it, which I don't mean to be. There we go. Sorry about that. But you can see some of the really fine detail in her work. The light's a little strange in here right now. And all right, let me see what else we got here. Here we go. So this is John Smither, another one of our wonderful upstairs neighbors. Beautiful paintings. He has a whole Raven series that I think is just out of control. Really beautiful. Again, lots of really fine detail work. And this, here's his information. Oh, here's some more of his stuff. I'll take you over to these. I love these. So pretty. Coming for a little bit of a close-up here. Some of that beautiful highlighting and low lighting in these pieces. Stunning. Here's the last one in this series on the wall. And this last studio here is Sarah Kay. She's another ceramicist. You may have seen her work in places like Starbucks. She does this kind of really stunning pottery. Sarah Kay. Also, highly approve of this name. But her work is really gorgeous, very sophisticated, very simple, really, really lovely. Ooh, and she's got sparkly water. How exciting. Oh, here's some more little smaller bits of her work. Just really, really pretty. Ooh, whole buckets of it. I could be rich. Yeah, so these are our upstairs neighbor friends. Peace indeed. So true. So true. All right, got one more hallway to walk through. And then that, I think, is actually the end of the tour. Got some more art on the wall. This is some more of Sarah Kay's pottery. Really incredibly lovely. I love these. These are ceramic. So totally your like to-go cup, but 100% ceramic. Really, really cool. All right, turn the corner. These are our friends at Knit Yak. Man, the machine in here is out of control. So these scarves are all made out of some sort of really intense math that I'm not smart enough to understand. But they're, I don't even know how to describe it. But this is some very dorky technological art. And not only that, but they're beautiful and they're really, really nicely made and colorful. Really gorgeous. Here we go. Anyone old enough to remember that? We should be friends. And then we've got this hallway. This is Drew Welliver. He does a lot of found art pieces. Using all sorts of materials he finds to create a whole bunch of different types of art. His wife, Cassie, is a ceramicist as well, as a potting wheel in their studio. And this is all here. Lots and lots and lots of pieces on this wall. There's one on the ceiling, just for funsies. Ooh, got some new stuff up. Detail action. I'm sorry, the lighting's a little bit weird. This is a good one here. Pretty big. Interesting door full of things that I might or might not have have some responsibility for. And the final place that we'll stop at, this is Ned Block. And Ned Block is actually a sculptor in a really incredible style. He uses, I think, steel form frames and then coats them with resin and then polishes the ever-loving crap out of them so they shine. And they're man, they are elegant, they are sophisticated, they are beautiful, they are seamless. It's really, his work is staggeringly good. And he also does, so these are some of his sketches and paintings. He says no photos, please. I hope that's okay that I'm showing him. It's an art walk. I'm not taking pictures. But he is absolutely fantastic. So I didn't want to leave out our friends at this side of the building. So thanks for bearing with me. And I hope you enjoyed more of that art that we got to see. And yeah, look at this. It's still a beautiful flipping day out here. Holy crap. So I'm going to walk back through the garden here. Oh, because look. Oh, the raspberries are coming up. And the strawberries are coming up. Life isn't over. Look at that. There is a bounty here just on the horizon. All of the little gardeny bits. I think there is some, oh, yeah, the lavender's looking pretty good. I think there's a blueberry plant over here. Yeah. So, you know, there's still art and there's still fruit in the world, so it can't be that bad. All right, I'm back in the blacksmith shop. That's all I got. And unless there's anything else you have to say, thanks. Bye. Thanks, Sid. Thanks, Tabasco.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys.